This is the Off the Break Podcast, your podcast dedicated to current movie theater news, operations, and insights from the people that book the movies. Now, here are your hosts, Cody, Kyle, and Ken.
All right.
It finally happened.
Yeah.
Off the Break Podcast is
Videoized.
Yeah,
That's not
digital.
the word. We've gone digital.
You could
baby.
see us? What is this?
The audio listeners are like,
Well-
nothing has changed. What are we?
If
That's
you're
why.
not sure what you're looking at, that is Cody.
Hi, I'm Cody, the head of the table.
It is not Ken John from the Hanover.
Not now that you've said that, you can't unsee it. I did not have that plan for my cool tracksuit that I've owned for over a year as we've gotten prepared to take this to video.
I like that the justification is I've had this for a year.
I
Not
bought
just
it-
because of this.
I bought it because of this. This was always going to be my outfit
Right.
for day one of video podcasts.
Cody, it's been a long couple of years, but did you die?
Die? No, I'm here. I'm apparently the only one. Well, me and Ken are the only ones having a fun beer.
No one brought any attention to what we're doing on this
Kyle,
podcast.
you know better.
We're
should-
swinging for the fences, but it's different fences.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm hoping this goes well and you guys are getting ready for the party.
Well, if you
We
like
are.
the new studio, thank you.
Yeah.
If you don't like the new studio, it's Cody's fault.
Well,
Yeah, that's how it goes.
and if you only, Ken was so good and instrumental in creating our beautiful wall right here. Oh,
It's all glowy and shiny.
it glows. We still got to work on our lighting. I'm not sure if anybody can actually see the lighting, but it looks really awesome in here for us.
You're not sure if they can see the lighting behind the gold trim on your tracksuit.
Yeah, I know I might be outshining everything right now. I may be the distraction in the room.
Let us know if you can even see Kyle and I in the video.
I know Kyle wore a brown shirt today.
I could have
200th episode, Kyle. You couldn't have had a beer and dressed it up a bit.
Yeah, clearly, I feel like I was just out of the loop. I did not know that we were going this far out. I thought
It's the
studio
200th
and-
episode.
It is the 200th. We're really excited about this 200th too. It's crazy that this podcast has gone on for this long.
I know. We've been here. It's evolved over time. We'll tell you we goosed the numbers a little on it because we were doing 2 podcasts a week at the beginning.
That's true.
That was tough.
That was a nightmare.
That was a quick change we
Well,
made.
It's not that you didn't record them. It's
No,
not
it's
goosing
true.
the numbers. You actually did.
We did it. We did
200
record them.
podcasts.
It was just fast track.
Remember when we were trying to keep it to 20 minutes?
I mean,
like I could keep it to 20 minutes.
I mean, Kyle did 200 podcasts. I don't know how many Cody did.
I was there for most of them.
for most of them. Yeah.
Yeah, there was some where Kyle was gone.
Some that Cody was gone.
And I
Yeah.
did a little less than half.
Right. You were the substitute.
Right.
We did try to get our comrade Eric into this podcast, but he is off in Norway.
Yeah.
So Eric is gallivanting the world, and we are still here doing our podcast with the substitute of Ken,
Yeah.
who just left.
Who just left us. I guess this is his official goodbye.
No,
But
you know what he's doing?
he's getting me a drink.
He's
isn't
getting you a beer,
he? And a
of
different
course.
colored shirt.
What? No,
No, I'm just.
that's CinemaCon attire right there. He dressed up.
Yeah, that's true.
your beer.
Yeah.
That's definitely
He
true.
color coordinated
Thank you.
with his beers.
All right.
Me, I clashed, and that's okay.
200th episode.
200th episode, everyone.
All right.
Spring
We
break.
survived a pandemic. The movie release Firestarter by Universal. We survived a lot.
It's true.
Right. No, and our industry has evolved so much. It's been so interesting being able to capture it on our podcast. I think back to the first episodes where we were, yelling at the Academy Awards for daring to let Netflix in because it's streaming. It's not playing in theaters. What's the point?
I
And
shake my fist at the
Academy
at the waves.
And
and the stupid films that they always nominate.
Nothing-
and 200 episodes later, we're still doing that.
Yeah. Academy.
Well, nothing's changing.
Top
Just
Gun
gotten
better be
dumber.
nominated for Best Picture. We're all missing out here.
Well, that's definitely true. I
Yeah.
can agree with that.
I think it's like the first post-pandemic A+ cinema score. We got
A plus? Yeah, it might be.
We've got a.
It needs an
really-
A plus plus.
We just need to encourage
true.
this. If it drops another only 30% next week, then it gets a second plus.
I don't know what I'm gonna do if it only drops another 30% next week. Like,
Cheer?
I mean, no, don't get me wrong. I'm very
You're
excited,
gonna fall
but
more in love with Tom Cruise.
maybe, but
Is that possible?
What will Disney say when I have to cancel all those Lightyears?
Not anything good.
Goodbye, Lightyear. We're holding on to Tom Cruise. His
Why would you do
aging
that?
turkey neck.
All right, so I guess now we get back into the swing of things after weeks of being absent.
I know it feels weird, but it feels like coming home again. Like
Yeah.
nothing's changed.
Yeah, and hopefully you all out there are feeling that same way.
Right.
Old listeners, hopefully new ones too.
Oh, yay, new listeners.
That would
And
be great.
know that I don't just dress like this for any old special occasion. I'm
not
very
outside
this
the
is
realm
my
of possibility.
celebratory attire. My awesome gold tiger tracksuit. So yeah.
You should see what she wears to actual celebrations.
And on that note, do we want to talk about release changes over the past
Yes.
few weeks?
So if you guys haven't been catching release schedule changes because we have not been on air, we have a bunch to keep you up informed on. So Kyle, what do we got that's number 1 in the release schedule changes?
I guess the one that's coming out the closest to us is Bullet Train. It only moved back a week though, moved from July 29th to August 5th.
I'm so happy because August looks so bad on the release schedule,
Yeah.
and I need Bullet Train to it just gave it more breathing room. Sony, this was a really smart move on Sony's part because I had Crawdads 2 weeks into Bullet Train, and I don't know if that would have been enough, and that would have been just burning through product too quickly. So it gives Crawdads a 3rd week. It puts Bullet Train further into August where I really need it. This was a really good move by them. I'm very happy with this one.
I swear to God, Sony uses a dartboard for this, though. Why 3 weeks? Why not 4? Why not put it right dead center in August? Why
Oh my
not put
gosh.
it in September?
I think I have a hole literally in all my bookings on like August 19th. I think is one of the ones where it's just so awful, or the 16th. There's one week in there that I'm just like, oh.
We'll just spin a wheel that says, "Are we changing the date today?" Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no.
Yeah. Okay. What else changed?
A bunch of United Artists titles have changed.
Yeah.
One big one that's moving back is the 3rd Creed movie, which is being pushed from November 23rd, 2022 to March 3rd, 2023.
You have got to be shitting me.
I was actually thinking this was a really smart move. On that November date, they were up against Black Panther 2, and I think that's going after too much of the same audience. So I think pushing it back to March is a really good move on their part. I think we are seeing a lot of these changes happening. I think, what is 13 Lives and Samaritan theirs as well?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so those all moved back. 13 Lives moved from November to July of 2023.
No, 2022. It moved up.
Oh, it moved up to July. Okay.
Yeah.
And then Samaritan was completely removed from the release schedule. But I think what we're seeing here with a bunch of movement from United Artists is the coming together with Amazon.
The merger.
Yeah, the merger.
Amazon doesn't want to burn any of these before they get their ducks in a row.
I know. Yeah, I just think we're gonna see some changes on the release schedule as MGM, which was purchased by Amazon, as they get their distribution arm, which is United Artists, in line with Amazon's, and they really start building an Amazon distribution team. I like to think that Amazon's going to push into this market. They're going to make investments in actually having a distribution team, and I think by leaving all of these films for the most part on the release schedule, we're going to see them really push for that. And I just think moving Creed opens up your audience and gives them more time to get their ducks in a row.
Okay, I can appreciate that they moved it off of a weekend where we also had Black Panther.
Right.
This is
Well, you're not going to watch it at Christmas, so you
this
had
is
to
a
go back.
holiday movie, or maybe we should open it the first Friday after Black History Month. What a bunch of fake woke morons.
Okay.
You could have opened this
that
the
makes
first
sense.
weekend of February and promoted this as a movie
Right.
for Black History Month that celebrates African American greatness. But instead, let's put it the first Friday after.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
It
I'm
makes
with you there.
no sense. This date in and of itself is just dumb. March is a dumping ground for movies unless they are major releases.
That's true. Although March, it would surprise you. I think like we said before, the problem with January is you're coming off the holidays and you don't have money and you've been around family and people too much. It's just not a great time. February gets a little bit better, but it's really hit or miss. I think weather has things to play with that. It's still early in the year. You're still recovering. So March really is the first turning point where you're like, okay, I'm ready to get back out with people again.
It is, but Disney owns March. Disney almost always puts out one Marvel release or two other releases in March every year.
Disney animated movie.
And then what do we have this year? Something massive? Is there something? Yeah, because Disney plans their stuff out until, year 3000.
Right.
For Avatar 3.
I just imagine that Avatar is just going to continue playing, and they're just going to say
that's
too
what
bad.
they're planning on. But
I am worried.
That's for another
that
day.
We are moving to a one movie a weekend market. Like there recently, and a studio executive did come out and say that it is a one film a weekend market out there, and we cannot live on one film a weekend. That is scraps for us.
But that would make my job super easy.
I mean, I'm not gonna complain. I mean, it'd be pretty easy to book one title a week, but man, then what we're spending the rest of our time looking for filler content all the time.
No, we just booked Goonies like we did in 2020. It was perfect.
Goonies lives on forever. Goonies never die.
It was in the. It's been in the top 100 every week since we reopened. It's been in the top 100. I mean, what's the separation of that? What does that run look like? It's got to be incredible. Like if you put numbers to that, it's like, oh, Goonies has been in the top 100 for 200 straight weeks.
It makes a pretty good headline.
40 years after its initial release.
Nostalgia factor, Ken.
So to answer the March question, Disney is releasing The Haunted Mansion. I don't believe that.
That
sounds like it'd be for Disney Plus. I'm just gonna be honest.
Very much sounds like it's a Disney Plus movie.
That's going to change.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be shocked.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
I'm gonna shit on another Plus provider here in a minute.
Yes. Okay. Before we get to that, there was one other film, Dark Harvest. It is now set on September 23rd.
Which is also
it's
United
about
Artists.
farmers that are working past the sunset and work overnight, where I grew up in Iowa.
Okay, guys. I don't know if anybody noticed this, but as we're all celebrating Paramount and Top Gun and we're super excited, and I know this podcast is coming a little late to like rah over Top Gun, which I'm super happy.
Gonna take you right into the danger zone.
They quietly put their next film, one of their future films, Secret Headquarters with Owen Wilson, to Paramount Plus. How backstabbing is that?
Old broken nose Adam Driver.
Oh my gosh. They at the time when they're getting the most accolades, I swear this studio's had in years. Just you are so smart, you kept it theatrical only. Look at Tom Cruise pulling it in. You're making a movie for flyover red states, like and people are coming out, and how amazing is this? We're seeing the best grosses. You had the number one film drop merely 32% the second week.
And don't forget all the other stuff. Yeah. Scream overperforms. Jackass overperforms. Lost City still playing.
We are still playing Lost City, Sonic, people. It is so good.
Sonic beats Sonic number 1.
And we're still playing Sonic.
It beats Sonic number 1 for grosses, which is...
that's not fair because Sonic number 1 got killed off from the pandemic. So... But still, we think of what could have happened with Sonic 1.
Killed off. How was there a Sonic 2?
Oh.
You see, not facts.
Sorry, maybe
he's not that fast.
Maybe he was taken out at the knees then. Either way,
but he came back.
Then they're like,
the silent killer.
We've had such a good track record. Let's mess it up. Let's just take this film, which was a family film, and let's put it on Paramount Plus.
And Owen Wilson's had a little bit of a reconnaissance or resurgence.
Well, he needs some reconnaissance.
Oh my God.
Thanks to Marvel.
Renaissance. Oh my God. On the video too.
Oh no. There's no going back and editing that. Maybe you should take a drink for that.
I'll join in on this.
Drink for mistakes, people. They'll only get better.
But I mean, Marry Me wasn't anything special, but it got his name back out there. Mm-hmm. He's been on Loki's Disney Plus, which we're not going to get excited about, but it's gotten him some name recognition, and this was going to be his first, back to
all Loki did
movies.
For me was be like, he has white hair now? Like it went way past gray to white.
I just saw him again and I was like, his nose still broken. That's crazy.
Oh, well, that thing's permanent. Whatever happens, they're gonna find a skull with like pieces one day.
I would think he would have gotten it fixed at a certain point.
I don't think he can.
With his Marvel money, his Cars money.
Nope. When you don't fix a good thing, just talk to Jennifer Grey about that.
It's a moneymaker, so
yeah.
Hey, don't deny it. Embrace it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jennifer Grey looked like a dolphin. Okay.
She didn't look like a dolphin.
Owen Wilson is
and it was recognizable, and she said she regrets it because no one recognized her after that. She lost all of her credibility.
But didn't she have like one movie?
She had two. She was in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and she was in Dirty Dancing. So her career was launching forward. She gets a nosedive.
But Owen Wilson's like an American icon.
Because of his nose and his
Not
weird.
because of his nose.
Wow.
I mean, because
you think he's had more or less plastic surgery than Thomas Cruise, who we've been getting all excited
Mr.
about.
Cruise to you when he brings back the whole movie-going audience.
Yeah, that's true. You have to address him that way now.
Mm-hmm.
No,
that's fine.
Let's bring back all the old people. We need new blood in the theaters.
No, we need paying blood, and old people have money, so I don't mind the old people in the theater. Just, I wish they would buy more concessions.
What,
is
a
all I'm
Morbius
saying.
bring back didn't bring people back into
Oh,
theaters?
meme culture didn't work? No. It's so funny.
Not this time.
Just to segue the topic, but if you look at the headlines for that Morbius bring back, they were all about how the studio decided to bring Morbius back because of a resurgence in this Morbius meme culture. No, that's not why they brought it back. But it's hilarious to see like Twitter patting itself on the back like, haha, we duped the studio.
It was just under 74 million and they were trying to get 75, some sort of contract thing where they get
they're always trying to
benefit.
goose the numbers to get to benchmarks.
Always,
all studios do this.
And Sony especially has bringbacks all the time of their films because it's at 145. It could be 150. It could be this. It could be that. This one just coincided with this meme thing, and people are like, "There's no good Morbius memes. Like they're not funny. They're inside joke funny.
Yeah,
they're not like actually funny.
Oh, poor Sony. Just and then it was just so weird being on the outside of this this meme narrative that haha, we duped the studio. We we got them to re-release it because our memes are so good.
Yeah, I had some friends who like really pay attention to this stuff, and they were telling me this. They were like, "It's coming back to 1,000 locations, and it's being brought back because of the memes everyone's posting." I'm like, that doesn't sound right. Like, I'm working with film buyers. Like, that doesn't seem correct.
Well, the bring back was a huge success with $200 per location.
Ooh.
Which if you hired a person to work 8 hours at the theater, you blew through that. $200 in full ticket sales immediately.
Yeah. That was a weird... Yeah, that whole story was weird.
I can't believe anybody went to it. I can't believe it even sold as many tickets as it did.
You were like,
it seems like a
Do you
shocking
think
number.
that it was old people that were like, well, Top Gun sold out, so what's this Morbius thing?
No, they would have found something else. I have to think.
Well, they didn't find Downton Abbey, so I don't know what else they would have found.
All right, you got me there.
No, it was all divorced dads trying to entertain their 12 to 17-year-olds. It was like, yeah, this looks hip.
Ouch.
I know Jared Leto.
Poor fun dads out there.
There was a lot of divorced and separated dads explaining this to mom.
Yeah.
On Sunday afternoon, like, yeah, we went to Morbius. She's like, you took him to that piece of shit. I thought you loved them. Did you know Top Gun was in theaters? And he was like, oh, Top Gun's in theaters?
I love that movie.
We'll do that next time, Deborah.
It's good to be back. It's good to be back, folks.
Oh, my gosh. All right. Well, let's go through what happened in May and then what June looks like.
Yeah, some booking strategies. All I'll say for like the previous stuff was I was really shocked. You know, you're looking at May, and at the first part you have Doctor Strange, at the end you have Top Gun, and I knew both those films were going to be great. Like, it's Disney, Marvel, and this multiverse concept, and there was a lot of interest in that, and then Top Gun. And it was interesting because I knew that Top Gun was the most requested film during the pandemic. For 2 years, people have been like, when's Top Gun coming out? Is Top Gun coming out? Like, what's happening? What's happening with that? And so I knew that that was going to be really big. And then some people were like, I don't know, it's been so long. I'm like, no, trust me, this one's going to be a huge film. So you're looking at May, though, and you're like, okay, I can't just book 2 movies this month that are going to sustain me all month. So then you looked at things like Downton Abbey, and I'm like, yeah, this should be fine. This will bump me up a little bit right before Top Gun.
Firestarter was a 2-weeker that we knew was going to come in and out, and hopefully just bring in some audience.
Yeah,
it's Stephen King, so it's going to sell X amount of tickets.
Right, and I was a little hesitant on that one because we're pretty far from the pandemic now. Obviously, theatrical is back, and theatrical exclusivity is winning the day. And Firestarter was day and date with Peacock.
And Universal has had so much success in theaters.
Yeah.
There was no reason to have this. They have a 17-day window. Put it on after 17 days.
You couldn't wait 17 days on something.
For Firestarter?
Yeah.
Stephen King hasn't been relevant since The Shining.
No. I couldn't even tell you a modern Stephen King book that he's written that's like, we should make that into a modern movie.
Yeah. Keep going back to the classics.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
remake after remake of those old books.
So May ended up just being, unfortunately, Doctor Strange and Top Gun, which is great. I mean, Memorial Weekend if anybody had rain, which a lot of the country did, grosses galore on that. That was awesome. That was such a good weekend. So moving forward to June, I'm kind of like, oh my gosh, Top Gun's not dying off. And now I've got to find room because I just didn't. So far, it's been the trend that you get 3 good weeks out of a film and then it really just dies off. So if you move on in smaller towns, that's fine. Like you're not going to get anybody new seeing it. But for the first time since even before the pandemic, like I would say right before the pandemic, we're seeing repeat viewing. And that was dying off even before in 2019.
A 30% movie from the Big Six is unheard of.
No, it is.
Yeah.
Repeat viewings were a dying thing. People just did not go to the movies again. I mean, and then post-pandemic, they really didn't. Like, you thought it was slow before.
You were going out, and then you were hoping you didn't get it.
Yeah, and then you don't chance it again.
You would maybe go out 4 to 6 weeks later, no matter how good the movie was.
But this movie is so good, it's getting repeat viewings. I have heard stories of customers going and seeing the movie, being so moved, coming back out, buying another ticket, and going right back in. Yeah. No joke, that's happened. It's been years since I've heard of stories like that.
That's amazing.
That just is the power and the magic of a movie theater, and a really good movie in a movie theater.
Oh, my dad went to it, and the last movie he saw in the theaters was Face Off.
First off, at least that was the last movie. Yeah. What a way to go out on.
Well, you put Nicolas Cage and John Travolta on screen at the height of their powers.
Yeah, you have to.
Can't be defeated.
I get that.
It couldn't have been bad.
And it's so funny because he loved the little message from Tom Cruise in the beginning about, we made this entertainment for you.
I just picture my dad tearing up like when I graduated high school, like the one single tear.
He did. Your mom said it this morning. He's like, oh, because they went yesterday, and she's like, oh, he loved it so much. Even that message from Tom Cruise, like Tom Cruise was speaking to Mr. Cruise there.
Talking right to my dad.
Yeah.
Who's had to deal, like, I love Tom Cruise as much as the next guy, but I've had to deal with the Cruise confusion my entire life.
All the time.
Being born in the 80s.
I even have to deal with it now that I'm married to it.
Like, like Tom Cruise? Are you related to Tom Cruise? And I'm like, yeah, that's why I'm buying a triple cheeseburger off the value menu. That's why I'm asking you if you can go a little bit lower on this quote for shingles. Yeah, that's what I'm curious about.
And our name is totally spelled like that. That's where I get it. Oh, not spelled like Tom Cruise is what I have to say. I have to be like, it's German Cruise with a K. Isn't this interesting?
Yeah.
I never had that problem when I was a Clark, by the way.
I know. We got married and all of a sudden she walks with stiff legs and wants a German Shepherd and Doc Martens. It's really unfortunate.
I want a St. Bernard, and I always have.
Can you walk a St. Bernard in that tracksuit?
I could probably ride one in this tracksuit.
I think that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Well, we talk about this holding on, but we have
Right.
major double A releases every week.
It's such a June is basically the best month of summer right now as far as the number of releases coming out, because we still have Top Gun holding over. We get Jurassic World, we get a Lightyear Disney Pixar film, and then we get two kind of smaller titles, but still great for their audiences.
But Elvis Baz Luhrmann, which is
I'm getting a lot of interest in that, surprisingly. You know, I've said it before, like what person without white hair wants to see this film? And surprisingly, I'm getting a lot of requests for it. So
what's the other turd other than Elvis on that weekend?
Black Phone. I don't like that one because he goes after boys, and that's just hard for Mama Bears.
Sure, story-wise.
Story-wise, it's just a no-go for me. But I'm sure that it's an interesting film. It's an original concept. It's got great acting in it. It's more of a thriller than a like straight up slasher horror.
It's got Ethan Peregrine Falcon in it.
Yeah.
I think that's his name.
Something like that.
Something like that. But then we end the month, start the beginning of July with Minions on 4th of July weekend. Oh my gosh, that's going to be such a big weekend, guys.
Oh my gosh.
My boys are going to be so excited for it.
7-1 is Minions, and then 7-8 is
Thor.
4.
Yeah.
Which is crazy
Love and
to
Thunder.
Think. We haven't had a 4 in a while.
That's true. Usually
like
it's always
Saw,
the 3s.
Saw went to like 5, but we haven't had a 4 in a while.
Right.
It's
Well, I
been
guess
a few years.
Scream 5, but that's
Well,
also
it
like
wasn't.
a reboot.
It wasn't 5. They
Right.
rebooted it. That's not the same everything.
Yeah, that's true. They didn't really call it
This
that,
is
did
4.
I was thinking, now that we're out of like the young adult things like Twilight and Hunger Games, we really haven't had a 4th Star Wars, but that didn't have a 4. That was just a 3.
Avengers, I guess, technically. Yeah, that would be it.
Yeah, but
wasn't it?
But at
or I
this
guess it
point,
was
like
a
they're
4.
all in the
Right.
same. Pretty much at this point,
And
it's
it
like
was over-
MCU 1
This is
through
technically
56.
Yeah,
But
this
we're
is
not
technically
so-
MCU 56.
yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Well,
Good
yeah.
on Thor, I guess. Even though we kind of just disproved that being a big deal, but
So what's
Right.
your what's gonna win this summer, Kyle?
What do you think is going to hot take time?
I mean,
What do you
even
think is
Doctor
going to be the
Strange did
biggest movie this
100
summer?
190 million. So you have to eclipse that for an opening, and we're just talking openings.
Oh, we're not talking total runs here?
No, openings are going to be huge. The 3-day weekend, because everything.
Well, that's
okay.
okay.
God we don't have any Wednesday openings this summer.
Yeah,
You
that's
can't
true.
judge-
speak that into existence.
You can't
Yeah.
judge a run. And we have to do the 3-day. We are hot takers here.
Hot
we're
taker.
using the.
I
3-day
feel like
200.
it's not fair if we don't include the run because
It's not-
Top Gun may not get the biggest opening. That may go to something super front loaded like Thor, but it may overall be the best movie of summer given its run strength.
I mean,
Correct, but if
my
you're-
answer is going to be like for both of these. So it
Okay, so
works.
biggest on the run. What is going to be the biggest movie for the run?
I just think MCU trumps anything in this.
Okay,
day
so you're
and
going
age.
with Thor.
It
What do you
has to be
think for
Thor.
opening then?
What would Thor's opening be?
No, what do you think the biggest opening?
The biggest
3-day?
opening of the summer. Do you think Minions is going to have the biggest opening of the summer, or do you think it's going to be eclipsed by Thor?
I think
Or-
Thor could eclipse it. Excuse me.
So you think that Thor is going to eclipse Minions over 4th of July weekend and Top Gun?
Top Gun made what 110 million? No.
I don't know, Kyle. What was it?
It was
I thought you would know
120, I think, for the 3-day.
120. So
It
that's
went
about
150
the same.
for the 4-day.
Right.
Yeah, I think Thor could do that because Doctor Strange did that in 3 days.
Thor
Okay.
did 190, or no, Doctor Strange did 190, 180, somewhere in there.
Okay, so Kyle's hot take is Thor all the way.
Yeah, people like Thor again thanks to
How big
Taika
of a number?
Waititi.
How big of a number?
Come on, Kyle.
I'm a little rusty now because
I
I'm
know.
second guessing myself.
We're just putting you on the spot.
I will
Drink a beer and decide a number real quick.
Do I want to say 150? It can't be 150. It can't be that high.
That's so little.
For the opening, you think it'll be higher than that?
180?
180?
Doctor Strange did 180.
Doctor Strange did do. Ooh, so I think it would. Okay, so it would have to be in that.
Would you rather
range
look
then.
at Honky Tonk Pumpkin Patch
Or
or Chris Hemsworth?
getting his clothes ripped off of him.
I think based on that aspect, we all want to go see that.
Yeah.
So 250 million.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's a good number. I like that number.
Okay, Ken, what are you thinking?
I think Thor's going to win both.
Wow.
I think Thor's going to win. Minions is going to be great, and it's going to go on forever. But it doesn't help if Thor opens to $300 million.
You're going 300 million on Thor
for the 3-day. It's going to
for
be
3 days.
It's going to be.
I don't even think that
Spider-Man did 250.
Star Wars did that.
It's going to be the biggest opening of all time. Absolutely,
Wow,
100% the biggest opening of all time.
I know there's so much excitement for that.
We don't have a Marvel Phase 1 movie anywhere in the. I mean, even Black Panther was Phase 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you mean.
So this is the one that's going to bring everybody in. And he's more handsome than ever, and he gets in shape.
And he's got the Guardians with him.
And he gets naked. And as much as I think Minions is going to do very well and hold on for a long time, I think if your movie opens to $300 million, it's not going to matter.
I think Minions will at least have the longevity, because that's usually what we see from the kids' movies. But when it comes to Marvel, they still die out pretty quickly.
It's all about the bass, no treble. It's going to open and boom, blow everything out.
Make a trainer reference.
Yeah, exactly.
From how old are you again?
Shut up. Shut your Generation Z mouth.
Yeah. He's young millennial. We're old millennials.
Yeah, I'm on that weird teeter-totter.
Yeah, we're on the teeter-totter with the Gen Xers, and he's on the teeter-totter with Gen Zs.
Teeter-totter mouth.
Yeah, there you go. Drink your beer, Kyle.
All right.
Be happy.
No, Minions also has Super Pets after it, which isn't going to be huge, but it's going to take some away from that.
Thor doesn't have anything after it. Maybe Bullet Train, but not even.
Thor will be done by then.
That's not the same thing. Yeah.
So,
but if it goes 300, then 150, then 75, then 50, that's $1 trillion.
I love your beer maths right now.
Sure on my
$1 trillion, everyone.
I skipped $1 billion. Did you see that?
Yeah. I heard it.
I think because of the timing, Thor is going to be the biggest movie of all time. Done.
And it frustrates me because it should be Top Gun, because that is already the movie of the summer.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Summer doesn't start until June.
Nope. It started when Top Gun
starts. Yeah. It literally blasted off with Top Gun.
Do planes blast off, Cody?
Yeah, off a runway.
These jets
do.
Or is that a spaceship like in Lightyear next weekend?
No.
Okay, they took off and soared through the theater.
They
screens.
blasted off.
They blasted off.
Like there's some sort of guy underneath it with a lighter, like
yeah.
Come on.
Boom.
Yeah, there is. It's like a hook, and then they release the hook, and it's like. Pew.
All right.
That's how I imagine
it. So, Cody,
it.
get to yours, and then we'll finish this.
Oh, my God. You make a compelling case, both of you, but I'm still going with... I think Thor will open the biggest film. Not 300. I'm thinking... you said 250?
Yeah, why not?
I feel like it's going to be around that, too. So I'll say 235.
Okay.
Right. I'm going 235 on Thor.
Going over has to eat something spicy on the podcast.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yep. Closest thought going over.
Come on, Kyle.
I'm the one with the IBS, but okay.
Price is Right style. I'll eat it on your behalf.
You're not in your 30s yet. Okay. You do not know what that's going to do to us. It's going to be awful.
Probably the same thing as it will happen to me.
Probably.
Now we're on camera.
I already can't have dairy in my 30s.
I'll just hiccup through the podcast,
just all young
so that'll
people.
be fun for everybody.
Yeah.
Huguk.
Okay, well, we had a little bit of technical difficulty. This is all new. This is our trial run, guys.
You look directly at the camera and say we had technical difficulties.
I looked right at Ken.
I know, like it's my fault.
We're having technical difficulties.
I'm in charge of the humor and the beers. That's it.
Well, I won't say that Kyle didn't have a beer upon coming into the podcast, so somebody failed at the job.
Oof. Sorry, Ken. I can't see from that one.
So I think we were discussing...
2 out of 3, that's 67%. That's passing in most southeastern states.
Yep. I think we were talking about Thor. I definitely think it's going to open big. Now, what is Top Gun going to have, legs or is Minion? For me, it's between Top Gun and Minions. Thor is going to be so front-loaded. Now, there is nothing behind Thor, but what I saw with Doctor Strange was that if it's not there, like the movie's not going to be there. You know, like they're not going to just go because there's no other choices. They just won't go. So this is my hot take.
$400 million.
This is my hot take, Ken. My hot take.
400.
I'm going to go with Minions. Minions is going to be the biggest movie of the run. Thor will be the biggest opening.
All right.
Kyle
It's
and
on
I
camera.
will watch a movie you choose, or you watch a movie we choose.
I thought we were doing the hot food thing.
Yeah, for the opening.
So for the run?
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to torture me with more.
Yep. Bad movies.
I'm never watching these.
We know, Cody. We know. Fight tooth and nail not to watch Shenandoah.
Don't torture me. All right. So as far as my booking strategies, I'm taking whatever I can, and I'm going to play it as long as I can, and I'm going to try to figure out, room for stuff. I am concerned about a little bit of conflict and smaller, like the twins. If you have a twin and Top Gun does another $3,000 weekend, I might not be able to bring Lightyear in. So we'll just see how that goes on Monday.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So for reviews, Ken and I, unfortunately, have not been able to even see Top Gun. We have not been to the movie in a couple weeks now. It's been tough. There's been a lot going on.
It's been tough.
It's been a tough few weeks for us, and it's a lot's going on.
So good.
But
we went on a really good run.
Yeah.
But Kyle's got some good reviews up here.
Kyle.
These last two monsters.
The man without children that's not anchored to anything.
I
How
thought
is
you
a life
were
of
going to say a man without a country.
how is a life of freedom, Kyle? What have you been seeing?
Well, I definitely saw Top Gun, and I saw it twice. Once was on an IMAX screen, and it was amazing.
Did you get motion sickness at all?
No.
Motion sickness?
I don't know. I'm just
I
worried.
wasn't in the planes.
I know, but just the swooping, swoosh.
No.
No?
No,
Oh,
I
I'm
did not
so
have
worried
that.
about seeing it in an IMAX that I would be like,
Don't be. It's incredible.
Okay.
Everything about this movie is just awesome, and I wish more blockbusters were like it. It's not. It doesn't go beat for beat like how the first Top Gun was in terms of its tone. Like, it definitely is more grounded, but at the same time, it knows when to have the nostalgia feels kick in. It like picks the moments correctly, and it knows how to do it well. And then the characters are great. Tom Cruise is just excellent in the role. I think he did a better job than he did in the first movie. Even it kind of seemed like he understood that the character needed to age and get older because the story
shut
is
your
part of it.
sacrilegious mouth.
No, it's true. It's true. He just was able to understand that the character can't totally be the same as back in the 80s. So he does the right choices in making the character grow with the times, and especially all around when it comes to the plane stuff and the military stuff and the aerial shots. It all just is even better than it was in the 80s. Granted, we have the better technology now, but even still, it's far and above away. Just incredible to look
Versus
at.
back then when they just duct taped a camera onto a plane and they're like, good luck.
But no, this movie was it's just so much fun. Like, it knows how to pull your heartstrings. It knows how to treat characters well. It knows how to build practical suspense, meaning that it's not CGI heavy, but it makes sure to take the practicalities of using these planes and making entertainment out of it and making good suspense out of it. And it just was overall enjoyable. Like, I really wish this can play all throughout the rest of the summer, because it's just one of those types of movies that everyone should see.
I think it will. And in the small towns, when I said that I have an issue with in twins and stuff coming off, I have a plan to, if I can, try to bring it back, and if I have a hole, target it for that 4th of July weekend. Because I think if anybody's got a hole and they've come off to open up other things, there is an opportunity 4th of July weekend to bring it back. And I just think that's a perfect rah America weekend to do it.
Yeah, for sure. But all around in the summer, it doesn't need to be that rah American type movie. Like, it doesn't really.
Right. It works anytime, but
Yeah. But
I'm trying to
especially around
market
that
it,
holiday,
yeah.
you can market it that way.
well, with 4th of July on a Monday, this is so nice because people get longer weekends. So it's perfect movie going time because it's hot and you want to get out of that heat.
Yeah, until the evening.
Yeah,
Totally.
until the theater.
Wait,
so
do we get Monday off?
we do not get Monday off. Sorry, we work, Ken. We work so others can have the day
Do we work
off.
in our aviator sunglasses and our gold tracksuits?
Well, we have to be professional about it.
It seems like you're really working right now. You look like you're about ready to ask me where you can buy cocaine.
Yeah, so I can work later tonight.
Never stop.
Working on finding that white horse.
I believe you're in Montana. It's skiing the white slopes.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
You got to learn the tech, the
lingo.
language.
Oh,
the
okay.
lingo.
Yeah. Explain to me how cocaine works in the Mountain West, Cody. In that gold tracksuit. All right.
Yeah, Ken.
We're definitely being investigated.
We got off track, but so we have another reboot / sequel /
Yeah. So you saw the early show of Jurassic World,
Yeah.
which comes out this weekend, everyone. How was the conclusion of the world of the dinosaurs? Not the park of the dinosaurs, but the world of the dinosaurs.
The World Trilogy.
The world trilogy.
Oh no.
This shouldn't be surprising because I didn't
Yeah.
exactly like Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, whatever it was called.
The second one was bad.
Yeah, and the Jurassic World, the first one, it was fine. Like
It was
coming
fun.
back to that world of the franchise.
It redid the first one. So it's like
Yeah.
you couldn't miss because the first one was so good.
Yeah.
So just copying that one with more modern dinosaurs and more modern people is not a bad thing.
Yeah. And the CGI for the dinosaurs, obviously they look good. That's the whole crux of the movie. If they looked bad, that'd be, bad. But just with everything else, I just wasn't particularly fond of it.
Was bringing back the original cast good? Like, did that add an element that was pleasing?
Not for me anyway. But I did appreciate that the way that they introduced them to the new characters was, not necessarily forced. Like they actually had their own separate journeys, and then they kind of met towards the third act, and it worked for me because I at least liked that it wasn't the new group being like, oh man, there's dinosaurs here, what are we gonna do about them? And then the three of them come out of the shouts, are like, did someone say dinosaurs? And I'm glad that it wasn't like that throughout the whole movie. Like it at least had them go through their own separate journeys and then met up in the middle, and they were like, okay, now we're just gonna run away from dinosaurs. But for me personally, it just didn't work. But I did have a lot of people in my theater love this movie. Like there was a standing ovation at the end of it, which baffled me.
Like when I went to Northman and one guy tried to start clapping.
Yeah.
Like there was a lot of terrible things that happened in this movie.
I know. I was like, did I watch the same movie as everyone? But at least people did like it, So I guess I should be happy for that, even if I didn't like it all that much. And I did go to a showing where it was more families, more younger kids. So them being able to have like this franchise and them loving it so much, like, I can't be mad about it. So I have Jurassic Park, they have Jurassic World. So that's all there is to it.
Yeah.
Not for me, but I think it's going to play well.
Well, yeah, I think it's going to be big. But I kind of always thought it was going to be front loaded and that it would be on to the next film. Like it has a solid 3 weeks, and that's about it for
Other than
me.
Top Gun,
Yeah.
name a movie that's not front loaded, Cody.
What? Minions.
You use that
Lightyear.
for every-
Possibly.
Lightyear, you don't think will be front loaded?
Nope.
Has Disney ever not had a title that was front loaded?
Lightyear will be interesting.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of pushback with Lightyear. I think, there's a lot of controversy surrounding it, surprisingly, and there's just not as much interest from the kids' point of view. I
think that part's true.
yeah, I just think they're having a hard time with
Because they didn't make it Tim Allen's voice.
I think kids are just growing up with Minions as their Toy Story, while
Yeah.
like my generation grew up with Toy Story.
But-
Right.
And that's probably the generation that cares.
But Toy Story
more.
4 did monster numbers.
But did Toy Story 4 do monster numbers because the kids liked it or because of the nostalgic factor of parents taking their kids? And I just don't think they have that with Lightyear.
The owl says, who cares? I don't care who goes.
Owl has spoken.
You should care a little because it's not children paying for movies, it's parents.
Yeah.
And if parents aren't interested in this, they're not going
Why
to.
didn't they make it Toy Story? The Lightyear Chronicles.
Yeah, they should have. And then you would have.
That sounds awful.
It
You
sounds
would- no.
awful, but it would have. I think
would've
it would have been
tricked
worth
people
another
into
$100
going.
million.
that would just continue to being like Toy Story Chronicles, the Woody Roundup tale, or
And what's
something.
wrong with the Woody Roundup tale? That sounds amazing.
I mean, maybe a little, but
Yeah.
Kyle immediately.
just pat myself on the shoulder. Well,
Yeah.
Haha, Kyle, thanks for the great idea.
That's like the Lone Ranger movie we never got.
It could be in the vein of that. Yeah.
Okay,
we're
we're not talking about the Lone Ranger, but
yeah, let's avoid that conversation.
Just
there's
saying.
two
reasons.
canceled actors in that movie, a minimum of 2.
I know this could be the redemption of a lone cowboy and his horse.
The redemption of a lone cowboy and horse that's made $1 billion.
Yeah.
It's fine. We can move past this.
Codi
fine.
says that, but she's never seen Toy Story 2, which is the redemption of the toy cowboy.
I've seen it. That's where they go on the trip and they get lost and separated, and there's the other toys that are trying to put them in the package so they can get sold. It's awful. I don't like that one.
That is all of them, so I can't quite tell.
Yeah. You're just making stuff up at this point.
No, it's got the big fat gold digger one in this
gold
box.
digger?
Yeah, he's the miner.
They prefer to be called miners.
Well, he's
Prospectors.
Show some respect.
Miners has a couple of different meanings.
That's okay.
The big fat miner over there.
No, he's literally a gold digger because he
I like
wants
a-
Woody in the package for money.
I like a porky kid in my animated shows.
Yeah, old man with a beard, and that's where we get. What's her name? Sally? I don't know.
Okay, you were close enough. Let's
Yeah.
move on to the
I'm
news
just now I'm digging myself.
Okay.
The whole.
Yes.
And
Okay, well, I'm not surprised by Jurassic World. The reviews online from the critics have been meh, hit or miss.
I think it will be one of those where critics don't like it, but the audiences are always right.
One-
it's gonna be that type
Right.
of story.
One I heard was like Laura Dern carries the film. I'm like, whoa, she's not the character to carry this film. So
and
But
she's
who
gonna
is?
she's
I
gonna
mean,
be in it. What? 6 minutes?
yeah, she even
Longer.
what?
Longer.
What?
Yeah,
For like the 5th character?
I know. I was surprised too. They're in there for a good while.
Oh my gosh.
Well, that might be good.
I'd be looking more forward to it if I hadn't seen Jeff Goldblum at CinemaCon
Oh, he
in his
creeped us out.
skinny jeans standing on stage.
Yeah, that image was in my head when he was on screen.
He
and
was-
that didn't help.
He was
so
staring
thanks.
way too much at
Well, he
Bryce
never-
Dallas
Bryce
Howard.
Dallas Howard, and
Yeah.
then in his skinny jeans, he had pockets. You have 2
Yeah.
pockets in the front and 2 pockets in the back as a man.
Yeah.
He decided to stick his right hand in the front of his pants.
Yeah, just like in the top, just like it was a pocket. Maybe he thought it got confused and thought it was one massive pocket, but he was just like, let's stick my hand in here.
This feels a little
Let's
different.
twirl my glasses and let's just be awkward
do
on
the
stage.
4-finger shuffle in front of 5,000 people.
Yeah. Just boop, boop. I was just like, he did it so much that I said something to Ken too. I was like, what's he doing with his
Ken's
hand?
like, I know.
And we were
Hand in
close
his
enough.
pants.
He heard us and didn't change anything.
No.
Just gonna roll with it. Just gonna roll with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hand in his pants. Just
All right.
I'm eccentric and I've been around forever. And he was so skinny. He's so tall and so skinny and wears such tight pants. It's
That's,
like
yeah, that's been that way since forever. We can,
just
it's
so
fine.
creepy. Just such
Codi
tight
never
pants.
saw The Fly.
I didn't. I did not see
Oh,
that.
we're shocked, Codi.
Yeah. I did not see that.
Yeah.
I know. I have seen clips of him coming out of his machine, like all buff, and then turning into a fly with like a human body and fly head. But
Okay.
okay, that's
Like-
it.
Like Cool Fly or Fly. I'm just going to keep diving into this until you're like, I don't even know what that is.
What's our first topic, Cody?
Oh.
So as far as the news now is part of our podcast, we're
Yes.
gonna get into some interesting topics hanging on right now. So. Oh, this is so nice. I cannot believe that we get to talk about this in our 200th podcast episode where we just crapped on streamers the whole time. But Netflix is
Forget them. They suck.
No, they're looking into a 45-day theatrical window.
Oh, well, huh?
Oh my God, it's come full circle.
We are amazing.
It's been legitimized.
They're
We are
shipping
the best.
DVDs starting next week.
Yeah. Oh my
what
gosh.
a concept.
Oh, weird, Netflix. Like, no one's caring about your original content movies
Nobody's-
on your site.
Nobody's signing up newly because of The Irishman.
Yeah. Or what? Yeah. I can't even tell
Red-
you. I'm like that, the films on the site, because I don't even watch Netflix movies. Like, I have watched none of them.
They spent $200 million just on the talent for Red Notice
Yeah. And the
Right.
movie was crap. It looked like crap too.
because they didn't have any money left to actually make a movie.
Yeah. they're clearly changing strategies, and I really hope that they go forward with.
I think they thought they could buy
this.
their way into being number one forever, and
Because
then
they were buying their way in,
And they were doing
when they
great,
were first
but
to
then-
be streaming.
Yeah,
So
but
thought
then
it would
they
continue.
lost all the Disney content.
they did.
And
They
then
Lost all the
I
Warner
think-
nostalgia
Brothers,
content.
Warner Brothers content.
I think they forgot that the reason their model worked so well was because it was the convenience. You could go get everything in one spot.
Yeah.
And they very much undervalued the convenience of it. And now that it's not convenient, now I have to go to 10 different streaming sites to get what I want. It really makes you evaluate what content is on each site and how much you want to pay for that. And I think that's where Netflix is having a reckoning. Like, nobody wants to pay for your original content. It's really not that great. And the only way to legitimize it and make it something more than what it is by putting it through the theater filter. The theater filter adds value to it. And we've been saying that for the whole time we've been on this podcast, that the theater experience legitimizes the value of the film, of the movie.
Plus, it's going to make you some money that you probably need right about now,
Yeah.
considering all the drops in subscribers and their stocks. So
Just wait until Sony sells Spider-Man to one of these streaming services for $500 million.
there is
No,
until
why would Sony do
superheroes
that?
die.
Spider-Man is $1 billion. They could see him selling it for $2 billion. Like it's a
Spider-Man's
NFL
worth way
sports
more than
team.
No. They're not the Chicago Cubs, Cody.
Yeah,
it only
Spider-Man
works
is
for a
the
certain amount of time.
Spider-Man's is the Cubs of filmmaking.
So it's only worked once in the last 100 years?
Yeah, and then it rides on its laurels.
Okay. Well, the little bit of concerning news we had this week for theater operators.
Yes. And to no surprise, that we are hearing a lot about staff shortages, labor issues, trying to find people to work, and then supply chain issues. And supply chain issues you think are just hitting things like chips and semiconductors and like lawn furniture, like trying to get stuff off cargo ships here.
But we have seen some things
Right.
like specific to our industry, like the cups and
Oh my gosh.
buckets and bags.
I've heard
and
so many horror stories about trying to get certain sizes of things, trying to get cups and lids, trying to get straws. Like, it seems like you can get one thing but not the other. And it's just you're going round and round with so many distributors and vendors trying to get cups, lids, popcorn bags, tubs, all that stuff. But now it's finally hit.
Wait, no, Chris Hemsworth is not going to be shirtless in theaters?
Oh no, he's always shirtless.
Oh,
Don't
thank
worry,
God.
Don't worry.
Just
we're
God.
safe.
subscribe to his Instagram. He's always shirtless.
Oh, I do. I have 3 different accounts
Okay.
to subscribe.
It finally hit popcorn. I mean, just getting now concession products, just popcorn, candy in certain sizes, all of that. And, so the theaters, not only are they struggling with a lack of consistent product, I mean, we're in the goods now, but wait till August comes around. But now you're not getting popcorn, you're not getting your tubs, you're just not getting the things you need. And just the frustration of it all on a certain level, I just feel so bad for theaters. Plus, not getting employees to even work it, so you as the owner or manager can get away, to get away
But-
for a day. You don't have any backup.
But our industry is such a streamlined, clean, non-confusing process for all of these things.
No,
There's
no.
there's
You know,
little to no nuance
In an
involved.
industry that's been around for over 100 years, it's pretty flows
I mean,
pretty
you can
well.
have
We've
somebody-
been through all the kinks
You can have
before.
anybody walk
Yeah.
in and just operate a theater day one,
Oh,
right?
Day one. It is not confusing or convoluted in the least bit.
Sarcasm in the gold tracksuit works really well.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, so just know that a lot of people out there are struggling, and it's things you wouldn't think about either. I've heard of people having problems with oil and the flavorings and stuff, trying to find smaller portions or individual sizes of flavorings, trying to get the right oil, because popcorn, people just think you throw some seeds in, throw some oil, throw some salt, and then bam, you've got popcorn in the popper. But there's a real science to it, and each theater has their own flavors and feel and methods, and trying to find the right oil to mix with the right popcorn for the right vendor. I mean, it can have a change in taste, and those are closely held secrets. And I just feel bad for theaters that can't get the right components for their perfect popcorn mixture, because that really does set the theater apart from the home. You're not just throwing a bag of popcorn kernels in the microwave and calling it good here.
Yeah, it's not the packaged stuff.
I feel bad for theaters. You know who I don't feel bad for?
Who?
The French.
The French. The French. Oh.
What's happening over there?
We read an interesting article on Deadline. You can check it out about how Disney is bypassing the theatrical window for their animated title Strange World in France. And I'm like, oh, just another film going on Disney Plus. But they have, in France, they're very, very keen on preserving and maintaining and supporting their cinema industry. They take cinema going very seriously. This is an industry that they cater to, that they support, that they do all sorts of protections for. And they just renegotiated the new windowing model for films in France. And
you listen to us as we gross 1% of the world's total ticket sales. We are the superpower here. Frog legs.
You do not mess with our movie-going experience.
Apparently not.
So they have a 36-month window. And let me break this down for you. Wow. You heard correct. 36 months. I had to read. So I have the article and I had to take notes.
36 years of paid parental leave.
So I titled my notes, Life of a Movie in France. So from birth or on the break to 4 months, it's theater exclusive.
Step 1, French toast.
But Step 2 is a PVOD window from 4 to 6 months. So it could still be in theaters, but you're able to purchase it as a rental.
Step 2, French fries.
Then from 6 months to 17 months, it's on Canal Plus, which I'm guessing, I have to look into this, and I should have done that before the podcast, but I'm guessing it's a subsidized French streamer.
Step 3, a good beret.
It's all in French, but yes, that is what it looks like. A premium television channel. So maybe like HBO.
Right.
Maybe something like that.
But I think it's something probably like state subsidized, or it's something local.
HBO.
Sure. And then from 17 months to 22 months, it can go on Disney Plus. So Disney, you could have had it on your own streaming service on that time.
17 to 22 is how old my girlfriend
But only for
is.
5 months. Only for 5 months, Disney. Then from 22 months to 36 months, it's on free broadcast TV. It's on the free channels.
Okay.
Democratic.
It has to come off Disney Plus at this time. It can only be on the free stuff.
Right.
Democratic socialism for all.
I would even encourage a free smoke and a croissant at this stage.
Everyone gets cigarettes in France.
Yeah. Then at 36 months and over, it can go back on Disney Plus. So I'm guessing you're back on your own streaming service.
Process.
And I don't know if I'm more shocked by the length of these windows, the trajectory the theater goes in the, from PVOD to some streamer to now the studio streamer to free broadcast, or if I'm more shocked that all the other studios agreed to this, but Disney is the only one that did not agree to this.
Well, I love the idea that they stand up for the theaters. Don't
Me
get me
too.
wrong.
I'm not saying that that's bad.
No, they stand up for the theaters. They give them 4 months where they're exclusive, which is way more than we've ever gotten since.
Like super exclusive.
Yeah, which is
and
awesome.
In the day and age of streaming, this is where the state stepped in and said, no, we're going to preserve theaters.
But fuck the French. Okay. I have no patience for you are not allowed to make money on your film.
I know.
For a year and a half.
I am a little
shove your French fries, you know where.
I'm a little torn with this. I am definitely pro theater, and I love the 4-month theater exclusive part. Even if it, that to me is great. It preserves theater going. It doesn't change the consumer's behavior. They don't skip movies to wait for it to be on streaming. If you want to see it anytime soon, you're going to see it in the theater. Love that part. But the whole afterwards of it going to some other streamer, and then you get it back on yours, and then it goes free like they're propping up broadcast TV. Who has a TV? And for broadcast. Yeah, who has cable? So that's why I'm like,
they should have dropped capitalism on you free-loving Frenchies.
I mean, I agree with you guys.
Yeah.
But I gotta admit, that's pretty impressive that they negotiated that. Meanwhile, we're like, 45 days? Like, oh, please? Meanwhile, they're like, no, we're gonna stick to this, and you're gonna deal with it. And I gotta admit, that's pretty impressive.
In July, all of the stores are closed. Everyone takes vacation.
I'm not mad by anyone. I'm just impressed by the French.
I'm
like, good work.
I am actually, and to have the state step in and say, no, this is how we're doing it. But then Disney just was like, fine, it's just going on our streaming. It's never going in theaters. Yeah, Disney, we'll see how well that's worked for Netflix.
That part's
you know what they're going to do is them and any of the other studios, or if they bypass these markets with like this, all they're going to do is just jack up prices in America, because that's the only place they're making money. They're not getting it from China, even though it makes like a ton of money. China doesn't want American movies playing in there anymore, and they're sure as heck not going to give America the money once they make it.
Oh, do you think they cut this giant check to Disney at the end of this?
So all they're doing is being subsidized by the American domestic market. Anyways, I just thought that was interesting, the life of a Disney film, and why Disney's bypassing that in France. Some things to be learned there, some things to maybe avoid.
That's just wild.
So
good on those French theaters.
Americans pay the most for everything, but that's why we're the best.
Yeah. So that means why we're the best.
Yeah.
Just pay a lot of money.
One. We're number one.
We have so much
Tom
money.
Cruise. We're number one.
Just blowing through it.
Oh wait, this is empty.
Yeah.
All right.
Beer boy.
It's time to end the podcast if we're out.
What? We don't get round twos?
If we get round twos on a podcast, that probably means something.
Not even on their 200th episode? We don't get a round two?
But this was...
It's Friday. You've got box office reports to do.
Yeah. Man, you're right. I got to remove the tracksuit and go back to work.
To business professional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this was so exciting, though. Like, we're really happy that we finally have a studio space to show. We're excited to have a video component to this, which is also... on YouTube, by the way. Just search for Off the Break Podcast. You'll easily find us there. But you know what? This is a great step forward for us, and we're happy that the listeners have been on board with this.
Yeah, we hope you guys keep following us on our journey. Like us on Facebook and Instagram. Follow us. Go check out our YouTube page now. Yeah. We're going to have so many more fun videos and other content now that we're able to open that door and explore that. And we're, the studio will be updated, and we're gonna always evolve this thing. So always keep checking back. It's definitely an evolution in our going. So.
Yeah, and also thank you guys for waiting patiently for
thank you.
A month. We know that we were trying to make this like a 2-week hiatus, but things just have kept coming up, and we were trying to make this as great as possible, so that way we can give you the best content possible.
Somebody got COVID in that. I'm not gonna name names, but it was a valued team member. Got COVID.
And for all of our French listeners, watch Saving Private Ryan and think an American, okay?
Thank you for listening to Off the Break Podcast. Find us on all podcast platforms or at screeninsider.co. And be sure to like and follow our Facebook and Instagram pages at Off the Break Podcast.